Today is Monday, January 20th, 2025, and the Dodgers, I think, are coming off one of the greatest weekends of free agency baseball that I can ever remember. So, this offseason, the Dodgers had already re signed Tommy Edman, signed Michael Conforto, re signed Teoscar Hernandez, re signed all pretty much of our bullpen. And then we got Roki Sasaki over the weekend in a move that, in hindsight, nobody should have been surprised about. I mean, I think that was the expectation. That's what had been rumored for a long time. And there's a lot of anger around what people are calling a pony show of him telling San Diego, telling Toronto that they had chances, and people feeling like that wasn't really the case. But the confusing part of that is, I think there was a Buster Olney report a couple months ago where he pretty much said this. He pretty much said that ownership groups and front offices felt like they were just going to have to do the whole song and dance, and that the team had already been decided. And to that, I think I say, what changed from then till now that people are so upset about it. But in any case, Toronto, San Diego, obviously were the finalists. Roki Sasaki ended up choosing the Dodgers on Friday, and just focusing on the Dodgers part of it, this is one of the greatest rotations I've ever seen assembled. I do think that Philadelphia team, I forget what year, 09 or whatever it was, honestly, those were all proven MLB talents. Roy Oswalt, Cliff Lee, Doc Holliday, Cole Hamels, that was absolutely filthy. But the upside, the peak of this Dodgers rotation is potentially all aces with Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Sasaki, Kershaw, and Tyler Glasnow. And so, yeah, if you're a Dodger fan, this season is going to be one of the most incredible baseball seasons that we've ever seen. Now, the pushback from Major League Baseball fans that are not Dodgers fans has been loud and vocal. Not only did we get Roki Sasaki, what again people feel like was a bit of a sham as far as his recruitment period, but the Dodgers also got Tanner Scott, the number one relief arm available on the market. Now, there was a report last night that came out that Tanner Scott had preferred the Cubs, wanted the Cubs, but the Cubs did not meet his contract demand. And this is where I say every team had an opportunity to prevent the Dodgers from getting to this point. What I do understand is that people are not necessarily upset about each individual player being signed by the Dodgers, because the Dodgers will do that every year anyways. It's the combination of getting all of them together with the deferred money. The Dodgers at this point have over $1 billion in deferred money, and that is rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, feeling like that's unfair. That should not be allowed. 600 something of that, by the way, is Shohei Ohtani though, so let's count it at like 400 million non-Ohtani deferred money. But the reason why people are upset by that is that now you have other players taking deferred money, a mechanism available to every team, by the way, not unique to the Dodgers. But now you're having Teoscar take deferred money, Edman taking deferred money, Snell taking deferred money, Tanner Scott taking deferred money, in a way that no other team in the league is doing. I think at this point we're in a bit of a chicken or the egg situation. Are the Dodgers good because players take deferred money, or are players taking deferred money because the Dodgers are good? Back to the Tanner Scott thing. If the Cubs had got him to that number that he wanted, he would have been a Cub, and there would have been no problem. But the Dodgers are choosing to offer competitive enough offers that these players are now between these two similar offers. Why not go play for the Dodgers and win a World Series or two? And I think that's where fans are I'm not going to say unjustly upset, but when you, as a non-Dodger fan, say that only the Dodgers can do this, you might be right in that only the Dodgers maybe can do this at this scale, but each individual player that we're assigning, every other team could have offered more money. If the argument is that these other teams now have to pay a premium to get them, that's what it is. What the Dodgers are doing is that we are pushing other teams to have to do what the Dodgers are doing to compete. And I think that is a good thing. For people that want a salary cap, for people that want a salary floor, these mechanisms are all helpful to the owners and it hurts the players. It destroys the actual free market, which baseball is the only sport that really has that, in my opinion. It destroys that and now creates arbitrary caps on what these players can make. And I promise you that's not something that the players union wants. That's not something that the players themselves want. That is something that the owners want. And a lot of times fans will side with the owners on this because for them, it's a little bit about the players getting paid, but it's really about their team winning a championship and wanting to feel like that they have a shot, which I can understand. It has to be frustrating seeing what the Dodgers are doing and thinking that there is no chance for their team to win. But I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. Baseball does not work like that. Even with a super team, on any given day, another team could win. Let's say the Dodgers play the Phillies. If Zach Wheeler is on his game, it doesn't matter who the Dodgers have. They're not going to beat him that day. Obviously, what the Dodgers have done is potentially set themselves up to have an ace go every night. And that might feel overbearing, but it's just not going to play out like that. And I do think there will still be very, very competitive baseball games with the Dodgers this year. Competitive playoff series that go the distance. So I do think it's a little bit overblown as far as the concern and freaking out about what the Dodgers may or may not be able to do. So now for the Dodgers, what's next? I did a video last night where I talked about their 40-man roster and there will be more moves to be made. We still don't know if Chris Taylor will be on this team. Are the Dodgers looking to upgrade at third base? Is Kike Hernandez going to come back? Is Clayton Kershaw going to come back? Alex Vesia still needs to be signed. There's a number of young players that are they going to get traded? I mean, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin. Do they have a spot in this rotation right now? I think until Clayton Kershaw comes back, either Gonsolin or May will fill in that six-starter role as the Dodgers move to a six-man rotation. But outside of that, I don't know. Tony Gonsolin in his last healthy season was a Cy Young candidate in the National League. So definitely going to be a lot of opportunity to trade there. Dustin May, his stuff is absolutely filthy. If you could ever find his command, if you could ever just lock in mentally, amazing. Bobby Miller, we all know how I feel about Bobby Miller here. Who knows what's going to happen with him. So the Dodgers are still not done. I think they're done for now until spring training starts. Pitchers and catchers, I believe, report on February 11th. So in just 3 short weeks, we're going to see more movement with this roster as players get placed on IL. And they shuffle things around to kind of get all the players that they need in. But Kike Hernandez, we're trading Gavin Lux. Maybe that opens a spot for him. But right after that, we did sign Hesam Kim, which means did that spot already get refilled? Chris Taylor is obviously a big linchpin for this as well. If we see him get moved, I think that almost guarantees Kike will be back. But still very uncertain. This roster I don't think is done. Andrew Friedman will continue to cook in this offseason as he has been doing. So Dodger fans, just stay patient. Put your trust in Andrew Friedman and what he's going to be doing, and it's going to work out. So those were the big headlines from the weekend. Also remember, Dodgers signed 6'7" Joseph Day, pitcher, 17 years old, throws 95 miles per hour. It's going to be awesome to see him. Lastly, RIP to the Los Angeles Rams. It was a good season for them. Came back from, 1-4 to winning the division, being very, very competitive against the Eagles. I think Sean McVay is top of the line coach in LA right now. It's just filled with great coaches. McVay, Harbaugh, Dave Roberts, Lou, JJ Redick. Great coaches across the board. It is a good time for LA sports fans. Maybe not at the high end for the basketball teams, But the NFL teams, I think, have very, very bright futures still. The Dodgers are the cream of the crop in Major League Baseball. And the Kings, I think, are playing very well right now as well. So exciting times for Los Angeles. A lot to look forward to. I cannot wait to see what happens over the next few weeks, as hopefully some of the last free agents on the market get signed, because we want more news. So, and as those things happen, I'll talk about it on the Dodger Dan TikTok channel, which is back, but also on this podcast, on YouTube, everywhere else. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Peace out. Go Dodgers.